I'm Dr. Cheryl, and welcome to Wake Up with Dr. Cheryl, Wealth Transformation. We are raising the consciousness in the relationship with wealth and unconditional love. Always remember that your present situation is not your final destination. It's the best is yet to come by Zig Ziglar. Our special guest this evening is Kathleen Kat Downey. In 2001, Kat developed All's Alive after researching that the benefits of music, movement, and relaxation were the primary healing modalities for improving communication, reducing anxiety, and improving physical and emotional well-being. Kat has facilitated this therapeutic programming to thousands of people with Alzheimer's disease, while promoting physical, social, and emotional and spiritual well-being. All's Alive at Home is being launched next month in Marin County in an effort to meet the needs of people living at home with Alzheimer's disease. As you know, current research findings are proving that non-pharmacological interventions not only prevent memory loss, but also can arrest and improve it. Kat is an Alzheimer's consultant, author, music therapist, trainer, and facilitator. She has worked with thousands of men and women in nursing homes, adult daycare centers, and senior centers. The Powerful Three is a music movement and a relaxation and interactive experiential workshop that teaches professionals and caregivers tools of engagement and communication through the multi-beneficial interventions of music, movement, and relaxation. Kat has authored the book Alzheimer's Disease, Music Activities for Caregivers, How to Integrate Movement Therapy and Touch Therapy to Ease the Disease, an elderly care professional's guide. Our show tonight is The Wealth of Memory and Communication.
Okay, so I'm going to have Mary start the time clock and give it a beat, and then we'll go to you.
Welcome, Kat. Thank you so much for coming on the show here. Thanks to Scott Calhoun from Marin TV, who introduced us. Yes. And this is the first time we're meeting, but yes, we have spoken, and I'm just delighted because as I had said in my introduction, that, you know, the wealth of memory and communication. I know that my family has been affected by Alzheimer's. So anything that we can, any information and education that we can, you know, get about this is so important. So please tell us about you and how you got involved in this.
Sure. Thank you, Cheryl. Pleasure to be here with you. And yes, I thank Scott for introducing us. In 2001, well, let's go back a little bit. When I was 5 years old, I loved to sing and dance. I had an Uncle Ralph who played the guitar, and he dug clams in South Boston, and he was a wrestler as well. He died of Alzheimer's disease. And it just sort of goes back to what was my purpose in life? And really, that was the question I had always been asking myself since a child. What is my purpose? Because I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I want to make a difference.
Yes.
And so I was working with elderly people, and I found that it was a way for me to tap into compassion within me. And I believe we're all wired to be compassionate human beings, and we need to tap into that. And we're living in a world where we don't see much of that. There's hatred.
It's hidden. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, even in some of my family members, they're like, they come across as having no compassion. It's like,
yes,
what happened?
Yes.
They shut down emotionally.
Right. Yeah. And I found as I started to tap into that compassion and what my purpose was, going from situation to situation, and now at midlife for me right now, realizing the full circle has always been that purpose being fulfilled. And we hear that when you have a purpose, you're happier. When you have a purpose, you're fulfilled. You're touching other people's lives. Well, the more I tapped into it and the more I saw what the need was, where is the need? And I saw the need was with elderly people in nursing homes, that we needed to give something more. I did some research and discovered that music, movement, and touch were highly beneficial in promoting well-being and validating somebody. And I believe that what Alzheimer's disease doesn't touch in a person is their spirit. So we have to connect with them through the spirit. And how do we do that?
So yeah, my question is, how do you do that?
Well, I use music. Yeah. So I took all my gifts and talents, wrapped them up in a package, and presented it to the universe. I remember reading in the 7 principles of successful spirituals, Deepak Chopra.
Deepak Chopra, yeah,
right?
Yeah, the laws.
The laws, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And this just jumped out at me when I read it in his book, and I grabbed onto it. He said, if you have a service that the universe needs, and you present that service to the universe, it equals success. And that's when I knew that if I presented this and I did my purpose,
yes.
And it is so rewarding. I mean, we're looking for things, we're looking for material things and stuff to fulfill us. But the fulfillment is in giving to others.
Absolutely.
And music is so powerful with people with Alzheimer's disease. They will forget your name, their name, but they will remember lyrics to a song that they love. And I say to them when I'm in a room, and I'm in sometimes locked facilities where people can't leave. And so what do they need? They need love. Yeah. They need affection, attention. So music is like an old friend coming into the room for them when they hear a song that they remember. Yeah. Smiles start coming on their faces, their eyes light up.
Is there, or are there any scientific, proof on this, which I'm sure there is or has to be, or it wouldn't be working?
Right now, scientists and researchers are discovering that the combination of music, movement, relaxation, which reduces stress, because stress causes disease, as we know, and nutrition are so important to not only preventing memory loss, but they're coming to find out now, case studies are being done on people with early onset Alzheimer's disease to arrest it and actually improve it.
By diet? By what?
In addition to diet, the rest of exercise, music.
Right.
So what needs to be done is, this is the prescription, this is the non-pharmacological prescription. There isn't a cure yet. Right. Hopefully there will be someday. But for now, what is needed are those interventions as well as human connection, compassion, touch. I'll share a couple of stories. In my book, I have stories about the sessions that I've done in nursing homes. And then I'll talk about how I ended up here in Marin from Boston only a couple of months ago.
Definitely. Well, we have those 3 things. You know, one thing that I through one of the experts I had on the show, it's been proven that aluminum creates Alzheimer's or accentuates it. And one of the big things is the chemtrails that are being delivered everywhere on the planet, and the aluminum particulates, and that scares me.
It's detrimental.
It scares me. And however, with the research that I've done, Dr. Blaylock, he is a neurosurgeon, and he has said to take, and I've been taking it for months, but saffron blocks that aluminum, which accentuates Alzheimer's.
We should start taking saffron.
So I've been taking it for months now because I don't want to get. I mean, it's in my family, and I don't want it.
None of us want it, and we're all fearful of getting it.
And what the statistics I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that like over the last 5 to 10 years, Alzheimer's and autism have increased by 10,000%. That's horrible.
That's enormous.
I mean, have you heard those
I have
statistics?
Heard those figures.
Oh, okay.
It's just, we need to act individually and corporately. And we need to connect to each other. And for people who have the disease now, my vision is that we integrate them. There's a lot of isolation and stigmatism around people with Alzheimer's disease. We need to know that there's a part of them that is still there. Their passions are still there, and we need to continue offering them their passions, whatever that is. If it's dancing, if they enjoyed drumming. I find when I do my music groups, drumming is a great activity for creating community and for allowing communication, because we can speak through the drum.
Right. Do you think that a lot of the Alzheimer's patients almost hold back because they know what's going on, but then they don't know. I know with my grandmother, she sometimes would know what's going on, but then she'd go blank.
There's little windows of clarity, and those are the precious moments that we hold on to, because they will go in and out. That's part of the disease. So a lot of it has to do with our own acceptance of the moment, the present.
I mean, the individual that has the Alzheimer's, because someone could be in denial.
Yes.
And that makes it worse.
That's difficult.
Oh, and then the support from the family is very important, because some of the family members might be in denial as well.
Sure, that's so true. And when you see them getting anxious, people with the disease getting anxious and combative and upset, they read our gestures.
Oh, sure.
They respond to our anxiety and our impatience and our stress. There again, the power of compassion. One of the chapters in my book is, what is the color of compassion? And again, we're wired to be compassionate. And I'm not saying it's easy, it's difficult. And that's why 2 months ago, I decided to move from Boston to this area in Marin for several reasons, to be closer to my daughters. But I also knew that demographically, this area needed the most support and innovative services. So I've read recently that most people are at home. They're staying at home. They're not going into nursing homes. So caregivers need so much support. It's a stressful, they're working, plus they're taking care of their loved one, a wife, a husband, a mother, a father. And so what I am going to share with Al's Alive at Home is, how can you communicate using music, movement, relaxation, things to reduce stress in yourself and also make the day smoother. It decreases wandering, it decreases sleeplessness, decreases anxiety, improves well-being.
So it's almost like an art to be able to get all those in symphony together.
Yes.
For
Yes.
the individual patient.
It's true. And I also use, in addition to my expertise about the disease and my talents, I also use my intuition.
Yeah.
My intuition serves me well in this profession and in this service that I do. And
well,
so,
you've probably been around so many
yes,
that you have learned how to read
yes,
that
yes.
intuitively. Yeah.
And it's a sensitivity that you get. It's an awareness that that you respond to.
So can you tell how severe it is with patients?
Yes, and I'll share a few stories with you as to what happens in the severity, because usually it's all different levels, and the responses are always different too. So, for instance, there's a TLC segment of my program that I do at the end. I call it TLC, and then I say, what is TLC? And everybody remembers. Maybe I'll say tender, and someone will say loving care. And I'll say, who would like some of that right now? I'm giving it out free right now. And then someone might say, everyone. We all do. We need it.
More than ever.
Yes, more than ever. So as a Reiki practitioner, I rub my hands together, get them nice and warm, and went over to a 91-year-old woman, Mary, and something told me to place my warm hands, just cup her tiny little face in my hands. And I said, Mary, what does this feel like? She said, it feels like sunshine on my face. And it just warmed her and made her feel that she was
being loved.
Being loved. And that's what they'll say to me. And they might even say, I love you. And they mean it. The authenticity that is there in a person with Alzheimer's disease is pretty incredible. And another situation, there was a group, and usually when I'm going around, everyone's looking and they can't wait until I get to them because they're starving for human touch, right? And so there was one woman.
I guess people are in fear.
Yes, total fear.
You know, the people that are around them that don't necessarily have the Alzheimer's, they're in fear. They don't know what to do, so they withdraw.
Yes. It's withdrawal and isolation. Another story was in my intuition. I went in front of this woman whose turn was next, and I said, do you want your feet rubbed? She said, both of them. I said, okay.
Well, good.
Right.
She remembered she had two.
Right. Yes, she did. She did. And to talk about passions again, so, and your platform is this on the show, is find your purpose and do it.
Yes.
And that happiness will be there. That love that we're all searching for will manifest.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, and I always come back to this as, you know, having that love, unconditional love for yourself. And then it's so much easier to give it out. Right.
And that's something you can learn if you don't have it right away. I didn't have it right away.
No, I know. We have things that happen to us that hurt, and then we withdraw, or, you know, so it takes energy to get past that, you know, and forgiveness and just letting go.
Yes. Like you said, you could close up, or you can open up and embrace the world and let the world embrace you.
Yes.
And that's what you and I have chosen to do.
Absolutely.
I can see that. This is a great story. I was in a nursing home, and an assistant pointed out this younger, lovely-looking woman. She said she was a professional belly dancer at one time. And I said, do we have any Middle Eastern music here? No. Oh. I said, okay, I'm coming back next month. I went to the library. I got a Middle Eastern CD. I got some finger cymbals, some ribbons, And I brought it in, put the music on, handed her the cymbals. So she went from this, the music goes on, I give her the cymbals, she belly dances around the entire room in a locked facility.
Oh, okay.
The residents started moving and dancing around. Nurses came out. They started dancing. We were sharing her passion.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they said, her sister said her costume is at home. And I said, bring the costume in.
Yeah.
So I think if we just we have a tendency to close the doors on somebody. We really, it's not what we need to do.
Well, we do it to ourselves.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and so
We do that.
when we do it to ourselves, then it's easy to do it to others. I mean, not everybody's built that way.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's kind of
Sure.
the
Right.
way it happens.
Yes.
So, well, my goodness. So, other than using music and touch,
Yes.
you know, how are you going to get this out there? How you know,
Yes.
how do you see this unfolding so this can get out to the world?
Yes. Well, being on your show tonight is just a wonderful opening door for me.
Yeah.
Because my vision is to teach people how they can eliminate stress and not only accept the situation, but have increased the quality of life. And you probably wonder, well, how can we do that?
Well, like start with stress. You know, how, I mean, I suppose, you know, there's all different kinds of stresses.
Right.
So, you know, give us an example of a stress that would impact an Alzheimer's person that has Alzheimer's and how to alleviate it.
Sure. So the fear, as you mentioned earlier, so the fear will probably not have them want to eat or sleep because they're afraid. And so
what are they afraid of?
You know, it's hard to know this because we're not being made aware of it, but can we imagine your cognitive abilities, you're starting to talk and the words aren't coming out right? I think in the initial stages, they're aware of that.
Oh, gosh.
How scary, how frustrating, and how frightening that is.
Yeah.
So comforting through touch, through music. And I'm saying we need to do this a lot, not just once in the morning, have the music playing all day.
Well, my understanding from a psychological and emotional point of view that we all need 12 hugs a day that are 20 to 30 seconds long.
Absolutely.
I mean, I know I'm starving for that.
Yes.
You know, so just to be healthy.
Yes.
You know, so and we don't do that enough.
A conscious breath, a conscious hug is worth 3 breaths.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I like that.
And human connection is so important. And it's going back to love.
Unconditional love.
This is what I'm using in my work. I'm not just, it's not what I'm doing. It's not that I'm playing music or I'm inspiring people to dance or I'm using my hands to express that love and affection, but it's an action and it's a feeling that can be transferred to someone. And it starts in the gaze, how you're looking at somebody. The eyes are the window of the soul.
Of course.
And so that's what someone with Alzheimer's disease will respond to.
Yeah, sure.
They will see in your eyes the truth.
Yeah, yeah. And that's a good reminder for the ones that are caregiving.
Yes.
And or the family members or the friends,
Yes.
you know, is making sure that the way you look at them is
Yes.
with love.
Right, right.
And not to be afraid.
No. It's very simple.
Yeah. But not always easy.
Not always easy.
Because you got to, you know, we all have the layers of our own fears and everything. But, you know, it's all possible. It's all doable.
Yes.
Every day.
And it tends to be a sedentary population too, meaning there's a lot of sitting, and there really doesn't need to be sitting.
You mean the Alzheimer's patients?
Yes.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
like put to the
Right.
in chairs and
Yes,
wheelchairs.
sit down
and
now, and you're in a circle. You're sitting.
it's like you want to like they want to control them.
That's what it is, a controlled
and
group.
do you think maybe it's they don't really know what to do?
I know that's true. Yes.
I mean, they
don't.
it's like it's so. Well, I think it's exponentially, you know, overwhelming because there's so many that are. I mean, I'm just amazed at, you know, like I said, 10,000% have increased, and it's like our education system needs to step up to, you know, to be able to deal with this,
Yes.
so they can be as healthy as possible.
And there's talk of trainings. There are people who are trained, but I'm not so sure it's training and then supervising after the training. Are we doing what we've been told to do? I think that's what I'm seeing. There's a lapse in that, somebody following through to say, are we following the tools and the techniques? So
do you know what those tools and techniques are from an educational standpoint, from, you know, I guess psychologists?
I do use psychology.
Therapists?
I train people staff in a nursing home in the morning, and then we invite residents in the afternoon. What I'm using are the techniques and principles of human connection. I mean, we can talk about, first you take care of the basic needs, right?
Yeah.
And kind of that's where it goes, just to the basic needs, and we have to understand that there's more needed emotionally, psychologically, and more independence given, rather than do this now, do that now. You can still have a dialogue. You may not understand everything, but you'll get snippets of what the person is trying to say.
Enough to understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whew, and then it depends on how severe the Alzheimer's is as well.
And when it becomes the last stages, when there's you're not eating, you're not speaking, touch.
Yeah.
That's the gift at that time. And you had asked, so my vision for myself being here in Marin and hoping to show people what I've learned and how I can make their lives easier with bringing passion back, but finding out what that passion was in that person, and how the caregiver, say it's a husband and wife, how can they connect again? Well, if they danced, let's keep dancing. It may not be the same way.
Did you see The Notebook?
I
the
did.
movie?
Yes, beautiful scene, wasn't it?
I've seen that movie probably 4 times because I just love the connection.
Connection, there it is.
Connection. I mean, he loved her so much that he would just be there for her and then read the past book and you know, and nurture her. And she would come back and she'd go away. She'd come back, she'd go away.
And he was there.
And he was there. And I mean, it's such a beautiful, romantic thing.
It's very romantic.
You know, and maybe I'm idealistic, but you know, it takes commitment, you know, and love.
Right, right. And it's sad that you don't have what you had before, but love, getting back to the power of love,
Yes.
will
Bridge the gap.
it will bridge the gap.
Yeah.
It always does.
Yeah.
Yes. It's a powerful subject. And I think it's about opening ourselves.
Staying open.
Staying open.
Yeah.
And
Staying open is the key, and it's not always easy,
no.
you know, from our past, you know, hurts and so forth, but reminding ourselves to stay open, and then it'll help the other person stay open, and the Alzheimer's patient to stay open.
Yes.
You know, when you can talk to them, because I've been a caregiver and I have dealt with Alzheimer's, and you know, yeah, it can be frustrating, but you know, we don't know enough about it. You know, it's evolving, you know, and I just hope that they can really come up, well, we got to take our saffron before we get...
we do need to do that.
Before the Alzheimer's takes over, you know, because I refuse to say that my memory is getting worse. I just refuse.
No, we
you
can
know,
fight
and I'll
it.
just keep doing exercises.
We can fight it.
Yeah.
They're showing us that.
Yeah. So, and like you said, the diet. So you help us out here with some of the diet.
Maybe your next guest can cover that. I add that because I know that's what is being promoted right now in addition, but my forte is the music movement.
Yeah, because you said that in the beginning that you...
But I believe diet is so major in renewing our brain cells and...
Oh, well, absolutely. I mean, just for healthiness, like no GMOs, which is still evolving, and you know, no saturated fats.
Right.
Eating organic food.
Yes.
You know, getting back to the basics, which
it's basics.
It's
That's
all
what
basic.
It's all about.
It's all basic.
Even what I'm doing, it's basic. It's what's been done for centuries, thousands of years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music was a healing
and
modality.
Dancing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so my vision too is to bring caregivers and people with the disease together to celebrate life with these interventions. So that is the vision I see. There's a place here in Marin, I'm not sure where it is yet. I'm talking with a local church right now to open up the church hall so that I can facilitate this experience for people.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of Alzheimer's patients right here in Marin because there's a lot of elders here.
And I'm open, and this is my mission in life. It's my life's work to do this. When I'm doing it, I don't want to be doing anything else.
Well,
that's my flow. Right?
You're in your muse, your zone.
It's my
just
zone.
Like with this TV show, you know, or you know.
Yes.
It's like making. You know, I like my guests to all be making a difference. You know.
Yes.
And wealth isn't just money, but it's you know, wealth of your memory, wealth of communication. And for elders especially, you know. I mean, our society isn't very kind to elders.
No. There's
they just kind of shove them to the side. And
we have to change that.
Yes.
We have to have a paradigm shift for this because it's not right. I mean, I'd like to think we've evolved with civilization, but when it comes to that, we're not scoring very high at all.
Yeah. I mean, I look at other cultures, and they take care of their elders.
They do.
You know, like the Indian culture and
African, Chinese.
Yes, they all take care of their elders,
and respect is given.
Yeah, and in our society, it's lacking. I mean, I'm scared for the younger generation right now.
Yes.
This is what they're doing
Yes.
all the time.
Right.
And they're not engaging. I've had conversations with these 30-year-olds, you know, and it's like, where's your heart? How can you learn how to express and communicate if you're not paying it, if you're not in your heart?
Right.
If you're just in your head all the time, it's
Yes.
like, oh my God.
I guess you wonder what will come of that psychologically or another disease because of that, because of that detachment.
Yeah, and it is a detachment.
Yes.
And it's not healthy. I mean, I can see it in their faces. I mean, I see hundreds of people and it's like, oh my God.
There's a
wake up.
Right.
You know, there's more to it just than the mental and the computers. And we have to remind them.
We do. That's our job.
I mean, I'm reminding them every day with what I'm doing aside from this, you know. It's like, so, and, you know, there's some excitement about it, but it's like they've got to put it in action.
Yes. Perspective.
Yeah. So what's your next move here?
Next move.
Yeah,
I have
making all this happen.
I have lots of balls in the air right now, and doors are opening, and people are excited about what I'm doing because it is unique, it is innovative, and it's an experience, but it's also something that can be taught so that it can continue, say, in a nursing home or in somebody's home. So that's...
So you can potentially have some members that you can teach that can go into different homes.
Eventually, that's what I will do.
Yeah.
As this grows and people become aware of how beneficial it is and how it can change and make quality of life better.
And I will slip in this show, your movie that you produce, that you have, that shows interaction with your patients.
Yes.
And I was like in awe over it. So
thank you.
It's wonderful, and we just have to keep getting the word out there.
Yes, we will. It's great to be here in Marin.
Well, it's needed in San Francisco. It's needed everywhere.
San Francisco Senior Center, they're having me come out to do a program there.
Good.
Yes. So I'll be doing a little traveling, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Eventually, as word gets out, and because I'm a new kid on the block, two months here, not even 2 months in San Rafael, and I did a cross-country road trip with my daughter and had a marvelous time. But once people know what I do and how I do it, I will train people who want to make a difference in people's lives, who want to do this work, who are musicians and people who maybe are into yoga, and I will train them. I still have a practice in Boston right now, and I have people working for me there. So that's what I'd like to see happen here.
You mean for the Alzheimer?
Yes.
Oh, good. So you do have it in action.
It won't be just me. It will be sending people out to
that's what it's going to take
care of.
Yeah, because you can't do it alone.
No.
No.
I'll get burnt out.
Yeah, and nor do you want to do it alone.
Right.
Yeah.
But another project, Cheryl, is a toolkit, a manual for caregivers. So,
that's a good thing.
So it's a nice little compact manual that I'm in the process of writing
together.
Now.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you need some investing. You need some investors.
Oh, I do.
Okay, good. You already do. Oh, good.
I need some. I don't have anybody yet, but I'm working with Senior Access right now. I'll be doing a conference with them, with Alzheimer's Association in a couple of months.
It's on its way.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's so needed. Oh my God, it's so needed.
Yes.
I mean, I understand that Alzheimer's even starts in the 20s. It's not just, exclusive to elders.
It's not.
You know, and that's, ooh,
scary.
Scary.
It is.
So, and there's lots of things that are feeding into that, you know, drugs, alcohol. I understand alcohol is part of, also a contributor to Alzheimer's.
I'm sure it's multifactorial.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think we can pinpoint
one
thing.
Yeah.
There's so many factors that contribute to it.
Yeah. Oh, I sure hope that they have enough funding to research all that and to continue.
Yes.
Because it's becoming a huge, huge issue.
It's global.
Yeah. So, but what you're doing, your work that you're doing, this is wonderful.
Thank you.
So I applaud you for it, because it does take dedication and passion, purpose.
Yeah. And I can't see myself doing anything else. I really can't. I have to do this. And I remember when I first thought about it, it seemed, because I knew it wanted to get bigger than me. And it seemed kind of daunting, and I thought, I don't know if I can do this myself.
Oh, because it was so big. Well,
Yes.
yeah, I believe me.
Well,
I understand with what I'm doing. It's like,
Yes,
oh my God,
yes,
I
right.
can't do this by myself.
Right.
You know.
But then we step back and we have that positivity, and you check in and you say, wait a minute, when I'm doing this, this is where I'm happy.
Absolutely.
And this is where I'm touching other people's lives. And so why wouldn't I do it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And everything else falls into place in the right time.
It's true. Just
Sometimes I want it to hurry up.
all the time.
But I'm learning patience.
Yes. No, I was here for 4 weeks, and I said to my daughter, I've been on the phone. I don't have any work yet. It's really difficult. She reminds me, Mom, you've only been there for 4 weeks. Why don't you just unpack and enjoy yourself for a little while?
That's part of the trait that one has when you're driven to do something.
Yes.
You can't help it.
Right.
It's just,
right.
You know.
It drives you, really. You're just along for the ride, I guess. Sometimes, right?
Yeah. So keep on going.
We'll do that.
So
we will do that.
So what else would you like to share about your exploration and about your purpose? What, you know, are there any other stories that you'd like to share?
First of all, I just want to share how much I love being here in San Rafael in Marin. Every day is like a vacation. It's so beautiful here. I find the people so warm and welcoming to me. And when I'm out networking, people are so helpful in wanting to help me. You should meet this one here, talk to this one, call. And I'm totally amazed, blessed, and grateful. I just can't explain it. And I'm not missing Massachusetts. I won't miss the harsh winters.
Yeah. Especially last year's weather. Oh my God.
We were pretty much house-ridden.
Yeah, for like a month. Wow.
Not fun.
No. Well, you won't see that here.
So I just want to let people know that I am here to serve, and I know there's a need, and I'm reaching out to fill that need with my work.
Good. Yeah, that's wonderful. Well, I'm trying to think of some other questions that we have a little bit of time left still.
Great.
So is there anything that you'd like to share about your own life that, like, I know you said you were singing and dancing and so forth, but like, you know, you have 2 daughters.
Yes.
And are your parents still living?
My father is.
And
right.
is he Alzheimer's?
No, he's not.
No.
But the whole family is musical. Between myself and my 2 daughters, we play 15 musical instruments.
Oh, wow.
My daughter in Portland is in 4 bands.
Yeah, wow. Portland, Maine? Portland, Oregon. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're
so music.
Music,
yeah.
Yes.
Well, music to me is like blood in the veins.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite kind of music, Cheryl?
Oh, wow. Well, I listen to classical, but I like, it's funny, I like electronic music.
Nice.
You know, there's
That's
a
fun
lot
to
of
dance to.
Yeah, but I like the kind of more new agey electronic, which is mellower, you know, and you know, I mean, I like all kinds of music.
It
except
relaxes you, it
yeah,
sounds like.
yeah, and however, I'm not crazy about the rap that is so negative. I don't want to listen to that because you know, it's negative.
Yes.
If it were positive, it'd be
Right,
okay.
right.
But the message, you know, I always go to the heart
Yes.
of things and the message, you know, of the music or the tones. That's, you know, that's what I love. So.
The message is important.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most important thing.
Because everything we see and hear goes to the heart.
Yeah. So, well. So is there anything else you'd like to share before we close?
I'd like to have the opportunity at some time to come back and do music on your show for our listeners.
Oh, wow, it's too bad you didn't bring something now. I didn't know this part of you, which because we didn't, you know, really get to know each other until now.
So I write music. I've written music for people with Alzheimer's disease. And
so what kind of music?
I play ukulele, guitar, flute. I use all of those instruments.
Yeah.
What
kind of music do you play for the Alzheimer's?
It's pretty much, I play their era of music,
yeah,
right?
Sure,
so
sure, like big band or...
Sit right down and write myself a letter, Daisy, you are my sunshine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
the traditional type.
A little story I can end with is I was in a nursing home again, and I'm moving out of nursing homes into the home, as I said, with Al's Alive at Home. But I was in a group, and a woman looked up as one of the residents was coming into the room, and she said, "The sight of your face brings joy to my heart."
Wow.
And I heard it, but no one else in the room heard it, but I wanted to frame this moment and highlight this moment and validate what she just said. And I turned around to the group and I said, "Did anyone hear what Sarah said to her friend that walked in the room?" And they said no, and I repeated it. I said, she said to her, "The sight of your face brings joy to my heart." And everybody said what, everybody responded this way. They were touched. The power of words to touch us.
And the tone.
Yes. And so I left, I went in my car and I said, those are the lyrics to a song. I went home, I added more lyrics.
Yeah.
I wrote the song, I came back the following month and I said, you inspired me to write this song. Sweet. This is our song.
Yeah.
And I do that song wherever I go now.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's special.
Yes.
That's very special. And everybody should feel that warm, special feeling now when you...
And the other lyrics that I added to it were the sight of, the touch of your hand brings joy to my heart. The look in your eyes brings joy to my heart.
Or the sound of your voice.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, putting that all together.
Yes.
Wow. I'd like to hear that song.
The song that you sing brings joy to my heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
and you can share that everywhere you go. That's your mantra.
That's
for wherever you go.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. I love it. That's great.
Yes.
I mean, that's good for everybody, but, you know.
Again, it goes back to touching the heart.
Yeah, and
this is what touches the heart. And we need more of that in this crazy world that we live in.
Yes, we do. Unconditional love.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
No criticizing, no judging.
No.
just being and accepting, you know. Oh, well, I guess we can say goodbye for now, but thank you so much.
Been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your beauty and wisdom and healing power that's unfolding.
Cheryl, thank you so much. Thank you.
What do you suggest to the caregivers of the patients? What can you do to expand into coaching them to take care of themselves and prepare themselves for the frustration of watching the progression of the patient?
Good question.
Yes, thank you.
Good question.
So you're going to ask me that?
Well, he just asked you. It's all being recorded, so this is fine.
So the caregivers really need tools because the stress on them is exorbitant. It's so difficult. So I would talk to them about what they enjoy doing and having them find time to do that themselves, that they would take care of themselves. So maybe massage, or I could come in and show them how to do these relaxation modified yoga, qigong, that relaxes the body and helps them to relax. Okay, the day was horrible. Let's end it by doing these exercises, and I would demonstrate that and do that with them. And then I would also implement the touch. How can you use touch for yourself? How can you ask a loved one, or even having your feet massaged is important. So and I think too, again, my vision of having people come together, because everyone's isolated. We're isolated in our homes. And if we can come together, there are support groups, but what I'm going to present is different. It's an experience where we're actually doing these non-pharmacological interventions to reduce stress and improve our own well-being.
And as you're doing that for the patient or for the Alzheimer's victim, whatever you want to say, you're also doing it for the caregiver.
Yes.
Because they're part of it.
It all works that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Integral.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're creating community through music, movement, and touch. That's what we're doing. And actually, when you're giving, when you're touching somebody, there's a relaxation that comes to you as well. It's
the oxytocin.
Yes, absolutely. So I think non-pharmaceutical interventions, more music, more movement, and so stress is in the body if we're doing movement to music. So I do things that make it fun. It's not exercise. I put on really fun music and we just do things together. We move, we smile, we laugh, we let things unfold and let things happen naturally and organically. And that's where the miracles happen. And when I do this, people, so say at a nursing home, the people who work there say, I never saw that before. I never knew they were like this, because they never provided that opportunity.
Right. And it helps them. I mean, it's all.
It does.
It all works together.
It's a win-win. It's give and take.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
All right. We're good.
Yeah.
It's okay because I do post-editing. I'll leave you with this. Never give up. Be grateful for the good and the love that's in your life, and be grateful for your freedom. Being grateful is really the most important quality and value. And then you can Allow more good into your life and share it with others. Eat healthy. Good nutrition feeds your mind and your body temple. Don't forget to exercise. Feed your spirituality with meditation and prayer. Love yourself unconditionally. Stop criticizing, stop judging. Forgive yourself and others. Try to be understanding. And stop allowing others to dominate the way you feel about yourself and think about yourself. Be compassionate and share your abundance and wealth with others. When fear knocks, let faith answer the door. I love to share the 4 agreements as a reminder to myself and how important these words really are for everyone. Remember the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. The world sometimes feels like an insane asylum. You can decide whether you want to be an inmate or pick up the visitor's badge. You can be in the world but not engage in the melodrama of it. You can become a spiritual being having a human experience thoroughly and fully by Deepak Chopra. Wealth is the ability to fully experience life by Henry David Thoreau. Thank you, Marin TV, for facilitating our show, and especially to my crew, Eric, Brad, and Mary. If you like our show, please let us know at #MarinTV or on our Facebook page. Please support and become a member of Marin TV. Bye for now.